We're as ready as we're gonna be.
Are you ready? Maybe I'll put that in
Are
the
you
DX,
ready?
The DX intro. R.I.P. that guy. He's dead.
Yeah.
The fake Zach De La Roca.
I thought that was Rage Against the Machine the first time I heard it.
I think everyone did. When you're like 17, you're like, holy shit.
Speaking of weird national anthems, you realize that chick that sings the national anthem from this is the fucking opera singer or whatever from Mulholland Drive?
Yeah, we'll get into that because he loves stealing ideas from everything, and he basically stole like a scene from fucking Mulholland Drive. Yeah. I didn't remember her tremendous cans in Mulholland Drive though. Good lord.
No, I don't think she's wearing such a. Anyway, we'll get to it. Well, let's blow through the 80 movies we've watched.
Silencio. All right, Gogs, go, baby. Yeah.
Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right. Movie the Podcast, we're back. The hiatus is over. It's a very special reunion episode. We got everybody back here. Sean's back.
The hiatus.
TJ's back. Gogs is back. And what's Movie the Podcast without Alec? We're all here. Finally, we're off format. It's the wrong month. It's now Sean William October. And we watched.
It's certainly not that.
There's been a stay of execution for the last 3 weeks or so as we were watching Southland Tales. Some of us watched it twice. I drew a chart.
Yeah, I did watch it twice.
And we also watched a shit ton of films. So
yeah, I'm gonna pare mine down. So
I'm just gonna talk about. Well, let's just each talk about one that we actually really want to talk about. Unless somebody has really strong opinions about two. Okay,
yeah, there we go. All right, we're back, and
we're black.
Get ready.
We don't want any more bears.
All the rumors that we've been, we quit or we're extradited to another country, those are all false.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are waiting for like the bombshell, like Sean to put his book out, and he was going to say like, well, really, I left the show for 4 years, and it's been an AI the entire time.
God. I was the first one.
AI, a la like Jada Pinkett Smith. Like, actually,
world's first gay eye.
It was an SAI.
All right, what'd y'all watch this week? Gog, since you simply refused to pare down your list.
I absolutely refuse, because there's a wild through thread on mine that I
watched Predator 2, Alien 3.
He did watch Predator 2.
I know he watched
Predator 2.
Okay.
So let's talk about that. We'll start with that. I watched Predator 2. I love that movie. I showed it to Anthony. Now Anthony loves that movie. We're correct. Everyone else is wrong.
Anthony had never seen it. First of all, I like Predator 2.
He never saw it through the lens. He never saw it through my lens.
Yeah, except he's saying it's better than Prey, and you're both wrong. Like, that's just wrong.
So now here we go. So fun fact about Predator 2.
I don't think it's better. I like it more.
That's the correct answer.
Okay.
Well, actually,
Predator 2 is not even better than The Predator.
Anthony's kind of gone around the bend. He's like, I don't know, Gogs. I think this movie's really good. I was like, I don't know about that. I like it a lot.
How does Anthony feel about The Predator? That's interesting.
I don't think he's seen The Predator.
I'll have to ask
he does not like Predators.
Anthony is a champion of like malign sequels. Isn't Temple of Doom his favorite Indiana Jones movie? I recall
it's my favorite Indiana Jones movie.
That is incorrect
as well. It's not the best one, but it's my favorite.
I think his favorite is Raiders, but I don't
No,
know.
he's a Temple guy. Anyway, we want to do it. So here we go. Comfy sequels. So this is for the Predator 2 heads in the room, because I also watched half of maybe John Carpenter's worst movie. I got to watch the other half.
Ghosts of Mars?
No, his other worst movie.
Room 19 or whatever
Vampires?
that is.
Vampires. I watched half of Vampires.
I feel like Ghosts of Mars is worse than Vampires.
I'm going to watch the other. Go ahead.
Did you watch Vamp or Ayers?
I watched Ayers. Vamp, I want to rewatch Vamp. I haven't seen Vamp in a long time. But so here's a fun fact about vampires, because I just watched Predator 2.
Can't go out in the sun.
Huh? Vampires, one of James Woods' original kill crew from Vampires, right? Like, we're 10 minutes in the movie, he gets slaughtered almost immediately. He's the Scorpio from Predator 2. The guy gets all cocained up and then falls off the building in the opening scene of Predator 2. Same actor. I was like, that guy.
How many conventions a year does that guy do with both of those features on the poster?
So I looked up his
PJ?
IMDb.
A lot. I've actually seen that guy at horror shows. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's a stunt guy. He's got like 260 credits. He's done a lot of film.
Is he a better stunt guy than Dick Warlock?
No one's better than Dick Warlock. The real name, Dick Warlock. So watch half of Vampires, it's bad. Predator 2 rules. I watched Wayne's World 2, it's better than Wayne's World 1. That's all there is to that.
That is a wild take.
That is a great take. Have you rewatched Wayne's World 2 lately?
You know what? Surprisingly, no, I haven't.
Give it a shot. It's a lot of fun.
So that means it's the best SNL movie?
Better than The Ladies Man?
Possibly the best SNL movie.
Gogs loves The Ladies Man.
Yeah, but there's some other SNL movie I love that I can't now think about.
Coneheads?
No.
Oh, MacGruber.
MacGruber is my favorite.
Yeah.
So moving right along, I revisited after the Baroness show. I was home and I was still peeking.
Saw Baroness?
I did. They ruled.
Yeah, great time.
Also, I'm assuming you went with TJ and didn't go on your own.
No, actually, we were both there, but he didn't go with me. I was in VIP. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was on parallel tracks, but like I got a whole new world of metal that's I now know about.
He also witnessed Escuela
Skeleton
Grind.
Witch? Oh.
No, I took him to a Skeleton Witch show. No, Escuela Grind, which is a power violence band, and
shirt.
Jesus Piece, which is like a hardcore band. It was pretty awesome. Good show.
Escuela Grind ruled, and fucking Baroness, like it's all I've listened to for the last 72 hours. Like I just keep listening to Baroness.
Love that.
Very into it. Now I'm like all this like prog metal. This is a thing for me now.
Is it a G.I.
Are you going to go see Russian
band?
Circles too?
I wish it was a G.I. Joe tribute band. It's like
PJ, is Russian Circles
emotional metal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're still together. They put an album last year.
I like it actually, Alec, because it's got a lot of like prog rock, Boston-esque kind of guitar playing to it.
Ooh, I do love
heavier.
It actually does. Yeah.
So anywho, after that, I was still way too up. And I decided to just sit down in my basement with a thing of Smart Pop and a Mountain Dew and watch The Lost Boys. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Lost
it.
Boys.
I watched it recently, and like I think it's one of those movies. Like Sean actually just said about liking something, but like it's not good. Like I think Lost Boys is kind of bad, but it's very charming. Like
it's no Near Dark, right?
It's not serious. It's goofy as hell.
It's like a sub Monster Squad level for me. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's like Nightbreed adjacent for me. But
I still love. You're a vampire. I'm telling Mom.
Yeah, that's And the fucking the sexy sax man, like come on, it's incredible. Like
right, and the lead girl, the lead lady, that's the fiance from Twister.
Yeah.
Dogs, did you know they're making another Twister movie?
Oh no!
You want to know what it's called? Guess. I'll give you 3 guesses. You'll get it in one. Alec got it.
Twinster.
Twisters.
Twister 2: The Revenge.
Yeah.
They're doing aliens.
Yeah, because there's more than one. Yeah.
Or we could get the David Fincher director assembly cut of Twister 3.
They're gonna CGI Phil Seymour Hoffman's balls back into it.
Man, there's too many dead people associated with Twister. Why are they bringing that back? That's not.
All right.
They literally
Helen Hunt.
They know, huh?
Yeah, bitch.
Wait,
the hour sucks. No.
Oh. Because Gogs, they literally will not. They just refuse to finance any new IP, so they're just dredging up anything.
Did the Twister in the end have an illegitimate child with Bill Paxton, and now they're trying to reconvene?
No, they built a theme park, and they're like, man, do you remember when just one Twister was enough to impress everybody? Those were the days.
Right.
And Indominus Twister.
We made this Twister invisible, and we crossbred it with a hurricane.
We genetically engineered this Twister. Twisters have genes? Shut up.
Shut up, idiot.
Now the army's going to try to harness the power of Twisters.
Weaponized.
Laser guided Twisters.
Okay, you talked me into it.
That's not too far off.
Yeah.
This is a good pitch. Anywho. Lost Boys. I hadn't seen it in a long time. Cheesy but fun. Shout out Jason Patrick. Should have had a better career. Needs a K on the end of your name. Next thing I watched.
That's what was holding him back.
Possibly. He misspelled his last name. It's not my fault. Now, Sisu, I watched that movie. That movie features my absolute favorite emotion, vengeance.
Revenge.
Yeah. You had to like that movie.
That movie. Wow. Good times on Sisu. Not so good times. I watched 2023's Asteroid City, which wants to be charming, and I typically am a mark for what's this guy's name? Wes Anderson. Yeah, but this one did not do it for me. I tried. I wanted to do it for me.
I feel like we're swinging the Wes Anderson power balance.
Yeah, it's like it's overly complicated. It's star-studded, and it's quirky and fun, I guess. But it's like it didn't do it for me. So take that for what you will.
How is Tom Hanks in a Wes Anderson movie?
Tom Hanks is good in it because Tom Hanks is good in everything. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's good in it. ScarJo's good in it. Yeah. Like, oh yeah. Thanksgiving. It's just like, it's like the premise of the movie. Is anyone else watch it or is going to watch it?
I'm going to watch it. Is it the same premise as every other Wes Anderson movie? A bunch of rich people don't love each other enough?
Sort of. What were you saying, Alex?
If our preeminent Wes Anderson fan doesn't like it, then I'm probably not going to watch it.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. I plan on it. I've had it on the Plex for months. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Like the idea
it was the first Wes Anderson movie I've been interested in since Isle of Dogs.
I love Isle of
6
Dogs.
years ago.
Like I love Isle of Dogs. I love Moonrise Kingdom. I love the Grand Budapest Hotel. It's my favorite one.
What about the
Life Aquatic? I love Darjeeling Limited. I love.
No, goddamn, the Royal.
You sound like Ernie Hudson in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Don't you dare!
I've still never seen the Royal Tenenbaums.
That's his best one.
I've never seen that or Rushmore.
That's the only one of his movies that I've liked. Is the Royal Tenenbaums.
I need to watch that. But this one, like the idea is that it's Walter White is hosting like a TV show that's kind of like Twilight Zone about maybe a fictional author writing a play, and then the play is what you see, but the play is done as the play, but it's like through the lens of this biopic that may or may not be true.
Ugh.
I got what happened, but I don't know why it happened. So I guess
convoluted.
We're dealing with grief. I think, like everything else, we're dealing with grief. It's just it's a meditation on grief. I didn't care for it. Maybe you will. And then the last thing I watched was 2023's Barbie, and I gotta say,
can you table that because that's the one I want to talk about?
I will table that.
Okay,
Alec.
I watched 8 things, and I'm talking about all of them too, since you guys made us postpone this for 3 weeks.
Oh, you guys,
this show's gonna go till midnight.
All right, let's do it.
Damn, I'm sorry that dog died.
We're put that on the shirt.
So we'll go from worst to best, but most of these are worse. Joe Dirt 2.
Oh no.
It's not called Joe Dirt.
Crackle Original. Dirt 2.
Original film. Does it still have David Spade in it?
Yes. It's got all the same people in it. David
Jamie
Spade.
Presley?
No, it's
Brittany Daniel.
It's Brittany Daniel.
Oh, Brittany Daniel.
Christopher Walken's in it for a bit. Patrick Warburton's in it. It is trash.
Oof.
I wouldn't recommend that to anybody.
Straight to Crackle. That's kind of amazing.
And it's the whole thing is told through. So in the first one, it's told through the medium of the like radio show.
Yeah.
And this one, it's like set up like Forrest Gump, like he's on a bench at a bus stop with varying people coming by, and he's telling his story, and the people shit on him too, just like his real life.
It would be funnier if they literally shit on him.
It's not good. Would not recommend. Watch Netflix original We Have a Ghost. Also not good. Anthony Mackie is in it. David Harbour is in it.
I like them. They're both good.
Is it a horror movie? Is it a comedy? What is it?
Comedy.
Okay.
And the broadest of strokes.
Shout out to Stroking Broads.
Yeah, it's not great.
R.I.P. Diane Feinstein.
Like, David Harbour is a ghost who can't talk, so he doesn't even have any lines. He's just like in this house, haunting this house. But then Anthony Mackie's family moves in.
So it's like a Dum Dum's version of Ghost Story?
I mean, no. Ghost Story's like, no. Ghost Story's good.
Got it.
I like that they cast a guy who's like really funny and quick-witted as David Harbour, and then you have him not talk. It's like when they made Deadpool originally, Ryan Reynolds in that Wolverine movie, and
at the end of it they took his mouth away.
So stupid.
Yeah, it's not great. Watched another Netflix original Halloween movie, The Curse of Bridge Hollow. Also not great. It stars Marlon Wayans and Kelly Rowland. Rob Riggle's in it. He's funny. Rob Riggle's funny. It was okay. It was better than the other one I just talked about.
With those three, is it a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
The premise is this family moves to a town right before Halloween. They don't decorate or anything. The dad hates Halloween. There's some curse with the town about, what's the guy's, Jack String? I can't remember his name, but he's like the original Jack-O-Lantern. And they somehow bring him back to life, and he starts making all the Halloween decorations come to life, trying to find this artifact that will bring him fully back, and then he has to send somebody else to hell and blah, blah, blah. There's some cool scenes of like the Halloween decorations coming to life, and the CGI is pretty good. It's surprisingly good for the movie it is. John Michael Higgins is in it for a little bit, and he's always funny. I love that guy.
What's he from?
He's from everything. If you look him up, he's from the Christopher Guest movies.
I get it. He's one of those guys.
He's Mark McKean's husband, and Best in Show.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Yep. He's great.
Watch Disney's Haunted Mansion, the new one.
With Danny DeVito and stuff?
Yeah, Danny DeVito and Lakeith Stanfield, Rosario Dawson. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Good cast.
Yeah. It was long. It was too long. And one of the complaints that I saw people complaining about is like insane, obvious product placement all over the place in it.
Oh, God.
And like, I didn't notice it too much until they're driving back from, it's set in New Orleans, which is cool. Cause it's dealing with like New Orleans ghost culture and stuff. But at one point they're driving like from the city back to this house in the country, and they're just eating Burger King. And like every bit of Burger King is like prominently displayed through the car. Like, oh, they have onion rings? Oh yeah, you didn't know that? Like,
they have a special Halloween burger, a spicy Halloween Whopper. Ghosts are chugging Mountain Dew. Like, I love this Mountain Dew.
It was really funny. But I thought it wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just too long. I think it was like over 2 hours. Watched Hocus Pocus 2, which I enjoyed. I thought that was a cute little.
I liked Hocus Pocus 2.
But I like the first one. They go together well.
Yeah, the first one's a classic.
What else? Right, 3 more. Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy is an absolute banger.
Are you Tommy Boy or Black Sheep guy?
Tommy Boy. Although Black Sheep is good. Now that I
Black Sheep is good, but Tommy Boy's
I've seen the full thing, but Tommy Boy's still funnier. Watch Talladega Nights. Banger. Probably Will Ferrell's best movie.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least my favorite movie. And maybe, I'm sure other people have other opinions on if it's his best or not, but that's my favorite Will Ferrell movie. And it holds up 100% of the time. 100% of the time, it works every time.
Every time.
It's so much fun. And like, I can almost recite that movie. It threw me because I forget what we watched it on. Maybe it was on Netflix. And it must have been a TV cut. Cause there's like a scene, there's several scenes that were missing. But I noticed it when, he goes to the box office to check to see if the tickets are there for his dad. And the guy at the box office after he walks away is like, man, that is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Every race, he puts 2 tickets here for his dad. And then it just cut. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That scene goes on longer where he's like, let's sell these bitches for beer money.
Yeah.
So it was like a TV cut or something. So there was a lot shorter.
Yeah.
But it's still the best. And, what's his name? Sacha Baron Cohen as Jean Girard might be like some of the best casting ever.
Oh, dude, he's so good.
Ever done. He's so perfect. Him and Andy Richter. Andy Richter is his German Shepherd.
He's no stay-at-home spouse. He's a world-class German Shepherd trainer.
We just want to develop a currency for dogs and cats to use.
He's just there having like lunch.
They're showing that clip on like race day or whatever, then it cuts back and it's Rob Riggle, the other guy, just staring at the horrified, their mouths wide open, like what?
He's having brunch with Elvis Costello and Mos Def, just
together we are Breeze.
I still love one single flop. I love the joke. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, we're here with Kenny Rogers. What was it? Like, I think he's having a stroke. I can't remember the bit, but that part was really funny.
I like the one where it's when they meet each other at the bar and he's asking him to like, if he admits to liking something French.
Oh, crepes.
Like, you like crepes? Those little thin, yeah, they are pretty good. Wow, you're gonna have to.
He gave you a pretty good out. Take it. Yeah.
Pretty good out. Yeah. Also, the ultimate line. Why would you want the TV and the stereo on at the same time?
Because I like the party.
I like the party. Also, that has that great button where he calls. He's like, I think the house is haunted, and like it's just here. Oh.
Is it Michael Clark Duncan's funniest role, or is the Slammin' Salmon better?
Slammin' Salmon, but he's good in both.
He's good in both.
Put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Very cool. Yeah. That whole movie is like, that movie reminds me of like classic Simpsons, because it's just so packed full of jokes. Like this
is really dangerous, but I do love Fig Newtons.
If you don't
it's like big laughing clown malt liquor or whatever.
Yeah,
crazy clown malt liquor.
Yeah.
No blindness and cats.
Roaming the countryside.
Shut up, Melissa.
I've been drinking Mountain Dew all day.
Yeah, I said North Carolina. She's a no yell at me, and I shit in my pants.
Yeah. I'm a lumpy butt.
I'm 10 years old, but I can beat your ass.
That movie's eminently quotable.
Like him and his brother like found a mailbag and just threw it in the river.
Chips watermelons off a
bridge.
I love that their dinner in that scene is just like 8 different kinds of fast food.
It's everything that sponsors him, right? Like it's all their sponsorship food.
You know Jesus lived to be an adult, right? Yeah, well, when you make all the money, you can pray whatever Jesus you want, but as long as I'm making all the money around here.
Well, the you ever did your life have a hot-ass daughter.
He had a beard.
Shit's so good. Anything else, Owen?
Yeah, I watched
8 more movies.
Strays.
Oh, you watched it.
It was not great.
It looked
a great premise. It did look funny. It has some funny parts to it, but it's a really funny premise that just runs out of steam real quick.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is. I was really excited for it, but it just couldn't hang on. It would there's some funny bits throughout the movie, but overall, it just kind of runs out of gas real quick. But
yeah, I kind of was worried about that because I feel like that's one of those movies that like came and went. Like I didn't hear a soul talk about it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That's everything. I finished the most recent season of Cobra Kai, which is
I didn't know that was up.
That's season 5.
As you finish,
it's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Only Murders. Only Murders.
I think it's the best season of Only Murders.
I think it's better. It's certainly better than 2. It might be better than 1. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Cobra Kai is just insane though. It just keeps getting this karate fights and this karate battle through the valley keep getting bigger and bigger, and it's absolutely insane. And now there's like adults and corporations and tournaments and stuff, and it's ridiculous.
I do love the fact
Terry Silver. They actually in this season, Sean, you'll like they reintroduced the Karate Bad Boy.
Oh no, I did see it. Okay, so it's not new. It's the one that came out where he's working at the furniture store.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
I saw it. I did like it
earlier this year or last year. I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the steam or like the energy that it did at first. Like I don't think it's as good as it was.
No.
But goddamn, every time Johnny Lawrence walks on screen, it just says something. That guy is just perfect.
They've steered into how ludicrous it is, like you're saying. Like, I think there's one line, I think it's a season, where it's like, look, I don't want my daughter to be the only person in town that doesn't know karate.
Oh, it's great. You guys, I think, honest to God, if either one of you didn't like it, I'd be shocked.
I mean, I watched a handful of episodes. I thought it was a lot of fun. I need to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I need to watch it. It's on.
I can't remember his name. Playing Johnny Lawrence is just.
No, William Zabka.
Oh yeah, Zabka. Yeah. He's just so goddamn good.
Is that Netflix or Apple TV? I forget.
Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
There's some scene at the beginning in this episode, in this season, where he walks into him and Cho Sen walk into a dojo to fight the evil dojo, and the woman mistakes him for Daniel LaRussa because she's never met either one of them. And she calls him that. He's like, I'm not fucking Daniel LaRusso. Oh, it's fucking great. That's everything I think I watched, though. TJ.
I watched two things, and they both sucked, so I'll be very quick. I watched a movie called Consecration. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a religious word.
Like when you consecrate something.
Yes, yeah. Consecration. It's a really stupid ass movie about it's one of these movies where like the movie thinks like it's really smart by having this like goofy twist.
Stay tuned later.
But it like completely undermines like any kind of tension that the movie would have, and also like if you stop to think about any part of the movie, it doesn't make any sense anymore. Basically, this chick, her brother kills himself he's in this like nunnery or whatever, and he kills himself, and they bring her to the nunnery, and then she's like a demon. It's fucking stupid, but she doesn't realize she's a demon, but she does realize it's garbage. Don't watch it. And I also watched a movie called No One Will Save You, which is a Hulu original that they did.
I wanted to see that with the aliens.
It's fucking garbage. It is a 15-minute movie that they stretched to feature length. The movie features no dialogue. And it's fucking dumb as hell. Like, it's literally like, girl, doesn't talk, is isolated from town because she, like, did something you don't know at the beginning of the movie. And she's like a pariah to the town. And then aliens. No, I wish if she was a piranha.
She's a piranha to the town.
That would be sick.
Like Pariah Carey.
So basically, she has an alien invasion scene, and that's like
all I want for Christmas is Chew. Sorry.
All I want for Christmas is anybody to love me.
Too real.
Oh, that's a better. Oh yeah, that's Piranha Carey. I did Piranha Carey. Sorry.
Sean said Pariah. That was better.
Yeah.
That was better. No.
Anyway, this movie is just alien home invasion for like 83 minutes. It's just really one note and boring, and I hated it. And Sean.
It would be funnier if the aliens were Hmong Chinese people trying to invade Clint Eastwood's house.
Wait, isn't that Gran Torino?
Yeah. So Gogs and I watched
fucking movie.
Mattel product movie Barbie.
Yes.
Gogs, go ahead.
Yes, Queen. I liked it a lot.
Yes. Yeah, bring that yes.
I really
the yesification of movie, the podcast.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a lot better than I really expected it to be. I mean, there was a lot of hype around it, but I thought Margot Robbie was great in it. I thought Baby Goose was great in it. I thought is it Simu Lee from Shang-Chi? Loved him in it.
How good is Michael Cera?
Michael Cera's fucking hilarious in it. Like it's super good. And then is it America Ferrera?
Yeah.
I thought
She's
she
hot
was
now.
excellent in it. I don't know. I really like what they did, and Will Ferrell's good in it too. It's a bunch of fun. I know everyone's gonna say like it's very ham-handed feminism 101, but whatever. It worked, and I enjoyed it. So like this, I mean, I liked it. The part where they're like walking around town and they're like, "Hey, everyone's looking at us." Like, yeah, but I'm getting a lot of undertones of violence. It's like I'm not getting that at all.
I did laugh out loud when he's like, "I'm going to the library to see if they have any books about trucks." Like that part made me laugh.
Like all like a horse-based constitution. Like it was fucking hilarious. I really enjoyed it. I'm taking it Sean didn't.
I got some problems. I wish TJ had seen it because like I think it would at least like back me up on some of this stuff, but maybe not. I mean the movie was funny. The political bit of it is really weird. Because, like, ostensibly, like God said, it's like a feminist 101 movie, but it's really not. Like, you can tell that the people that wrote it were, like, rich kids.
Right.
Because, well, a couple things, right? So, like, the main premise that, like, Margot Robbie is the prototypical Barbie, and then, like, that's bad, right? But, like, in the narrative of the movie, they also have all these other Barbies. They have trans Barbie and, like, fat Barbie, and, like, it doesn't, like, delineate in any way that it was never not like that. So like the idea of just this one Barbie out of this like sea of multitudes, being kind of a bad image for Girls is Strange when the whole thing revolved around all the Barbies being a good image for girls. The problem I have with the movie more broadly is, so like spoilers,
broadly, see what he did there?
Yeah.
Women, am I right?
Right. These bitches. No, so spoilers for Barbie, right? So the Kens are like a second-class citizen in the narrative of the movie, and Ken goes and learns about the patriarchy, which, like, to be honest, patriarchy affects everybody, and maybe this is like too deep into the weeds for this movie, but so they come back and the Kens discover like class consciousness. And the Barbies need to get their constitution back, so what they do is destroy their class consciousness by making them think that they all hate each other, and then reinforcing their individuality and not their power as a collective, which is how the CIA undermines revolutionaries. So it's like the Barbies are the intelligence community. It's really weird. Like, if it's like a deep satire, then it's hysterical, but I think they just don't understand the point of the movie that they're making. And it's like hilariously wrongheaded.
I need to watch this now.
I didn't think about any of that. I just had a good time.
We tell you how funny it is, and you're like, yeah.
It's funny.
CIA's involved, and all of a sudden,
but that's what it is. Like literally, like that's how they break up unions and fucking socialism is by breaking class consciousness and tell everybody that they're special and unique and don't need to share anything. So it's real weird. But everybody's fun in it. Like, I enjoy all the goofy sight gags of them drinking cups with nothing in it and all that. That shit makes me laugh. But,
how did you like Baby Goose? Everybody says he steals the show.
But like, it's like the way they react to it is like, you didn't know already that this guy was a lot of fun and like a good actor. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's not like as good as the Lego movie if we're comparing product movies. But like, the problem isn't feminism. The problem is that it doesn't understand. It only understands feminism in a very narrow kind of like white lib scope. Yeah. So yeah. Also, like part of the message is you got to vote harder, which is like a horrendous take. But
yeah. Well, I don't know how much like deep. You know, I mean,
it's fucking Noah Baumbach and fucking
Greta Gerwig,
and I think they're both like trust fund kids, so you kind of see where their heads are at.
They are, yeah.
So,
I don't know. I still want to watch.
That was my wet blanket leftist take on the Barbie film.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
Hey, at least you didn't make 2-3 hour videos talking about how woke it is and how that's ruining movies and.
Oh, but it's not like woke at all.
Yeah, right. Your problem is it's actually not woke enough.
No, not even close. But speaking of destroying things I love, let's talk about Southland Tales.
Oh God! So I just want to point out.
Can I name a list of the things that I love?
In that sentence, what is the thing you love?
Leftism and class consciousness. Well, movies, yeah. Well, Barbie didn't destroy movies the way Southland Tales tries to.
Oh, I thought you meant. Go ahead. Sorry.
So it ruined leftism. It ruined Wood Harris. It ruined my favorite Pixie song, and also one of my favorite songs of all time, "Wave Mutilation," which I love. It ruined Philip K. Dick. It ruined T.S. Eliot. It ruined Robert Frost. I'm talking about Southland Tales.
How did it ruin Philip K? Well, is it because? Go ahead. I don't know. I didn't pick up on the Philip K. Dick stuff.
So John Lovitz very much out loud says "Flow my tears," which is a very very intelligent reference. Yeah, and also Taverner is the name of the main character in "Flow my tears." The policeman says the guy that gets blinked out of existence from the alternate timeline because everybody's on that drug.
I can't believe I didn't pick up on that. I'm familiar with the story now that you said it. Yeah.
Nice job, idiot.
Yeah. I just want to point. More like T.S. idiot. I want to point out that we were. It's been about 3 weeks since we were supposed to record. I watched. It's been so long since I watched the movie. I felt like I needed to watch it again. So I've watched this movie twice in 3 weeks.
That's 5 hours.
Yeah,
does the other cut of this movie start with a montage, right after the home video thing? Does the original cut have a bunch of news footage montage? Because I felt like that was different. I didn't remember a lot of this movie, but a lot of it has lived rent free in my head for 6 years.
I feel like I honestly don't remember. I tried to do a little research online as to what the differences are, and apparently, it's mostly it's weird because it's actually slightly shorter than the theatrical cut, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. Apparently, the voiceover is taken away in a lot of this part of in this cut of the movie. Overall, it's
Pilot Abilene voiceover.
Well, you know how the Pilot Abilene voiceover basically stops in the third act after it's been in the entire fucking movie, and then it just goes away.
Apparently, after the whole killers, I got soul, but I'm not a soldier scene.
Well, apparently that is. I don't remember the thing.
I'm going to give you a hot take that I didn't think I'd have. That scene, the killers dance number, is the best part of the movie, and I'm not saying it's good. It's my favorite part of the movie.
It's interesting. It's one of the few parts of the movie that's
they said it was interesting.
I hate this movie. This is on record as my least favorite movie of all time. I think we were. Wasn't that the premise of that month? Is that we picked literally?
No. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it must have been. You had seen it because some guy at a comic book store told you how good it was.
Mm-hmm. My friend Kurt, he's still my friend. And you know what's sad, Sean? Yeah. It broke his heart when I was because I was trying to be nice, and I was like, dude, I hate this movie. It's so fucking bad. He gave me the DVD and everything, and
he was like, but we're pimps.
I know about it. Shatter the DVD for him.
I mean, he let me borrow it. I didn't beat it.
Snapped it right in. This is the best for both of us.
Yeah. But so I don't know, Cox, how do you want to tackle this? I mean, I don't think you could do a fucking synopsis to this mess.
Or can I?
All right, go ahead, please.
Oh, if you're just joining us.
Oh, what happened? Oh, what the hell is that?
Here we go.
Sorry, everybody. There was a big beep. I was like, what is going on?
Real quick, if you're just joining us and you aren't familiar with our history with this movie, Goggs is the foremost Southland Tales mid-Atlantic scholar, having read all of the graphic novels, I believe.
Yeah, Goggs, before you get into this, just real quick, again, if you're new to this, Richard Kelly envisioned this as a multimedia experience because he's got his head so far up his ass. So he released 3 graphic novels that were episodes. Goggs, you can correct me if I'm wrong on anything, but the graphic novels were chapters 1, 2, and 3.
That is correct.
And the film is chapters 4, 5, and 6. Right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So he envisioned that you would have to read the comic books and then see the movie to get the complete view of the storyline. And upon first viewing, Goggs was so convinced, and God bless him for this. He was so convinced that he missed the bigger point of the film. He went and bought those comic books and read all the comics.
There had to be a reason for this to exist.
You read all the comic books, and you came away with what?
Worse off. It got worse. The comics made it worse. So we're going to ignore that part of it. We're going to ignore the comic part of it.
And for everybody at home, Gogs just pulled up a big chart, and I will post this in I'll post this as the image for the episode, and also in like the description so you can see it, because it's pretty impressive.
So there we go. And it's not just gonna be a visual gag. I'll talk. I just need my chart.
No, I understand. I just want people to see this.
All right. So
before you launch, I just thought maybe after seeing like some of the dog shit movies we'd seen prior, maybe we would have different opinions. But now I think mine's worse than it was originally. Somehow.
That's how I felt too. Yeah.
This movie is the worst. It's like it's just above the Point Break remake for me. It is. Just above that. And here we go. The whole movie, for those of you playing our home game. So first of all, Abilene, Texas gets nuked, and then everything goes bad after that. Now it's Forever Wars. It's the plot of Gears of War. We need a new energy source. Islamists did it, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's start with Boxer Santoros. Let's make a better color here. Let's go red. Boxer Santoros, right, is here. And he's got amnesia. Now, why does Boxer Santoros have amnesia? No one knows. But Boxer Santoros has been picked up by Krista Now. Krista Now, played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She got hooked up with Boxer Santoros kind of through this dash line over here, which is Mad TV alum I can't think of his name. Fortunio.
William Sasso.
Will Sasso. So he hooked up Boxer Santoros with Krista Now. And now the idea is, well, they're going to like hook up and do whatever. And they're going to like just completely bone everybody else by having Boxer Santoros working sort of with Krista Now through the ultra Marxists, right?
Neo-Marxists.
I don't care.
There is not a shred of Marxism in this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're going to
add that to the things that ruined Marxism.
We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to have Krista Now, who is a porn star, also talk show host, also movie star, also like Grammy-winning a singer. She's going to be with Boxer Santoros.
They're going to maybe make Chuggers too.
Yeah, right. Teen horniness is not a crime. They maybe are making a sex tape. We're not 100% sure, but what we do know is going to happen is that the ultra Marxists with Roland Taverner, played by month's patron saint Sean William Scott, he's going to pose.
This is Ronald Taverner.
I'm sorry, Ronald Taverner. Yeah. He's going to pose as a UP3 officer and go with Boxer Santoros on a domestic call where Wood Harris and Amy Poehler are going to put on prosthetics and then get killed by fake cops. Go ahead.
Pause real quick, guys. First of all, the scene that between Amy Poehler and Wood Harris, where they got the fake that's like the only part of the movie I enjoyed. That made me
laugh when Wood Harris is swinging his arms around going, "Oh, you missed!"
That part was legitimately very funny. But anyway, guys, did you mention their screenplay?
No, it's right here. Screenplay.
Oh, okay, because that is
right
important.
Here.
Well, I guess
it's important, like intermittently.
Well, it's important ultimately because it becomes prescient. So now, Kristen Now has also written a screenplay with Boxer Santoros, where he gets to play Jericho Kane, and she plays Dr. Hot Pants, and it's about how the Trier
by the way, I love this.
So the Trier Corporation. Right?
Oh my God.
Under the auspices of the Rand Corporation.
Did they actually mention the Rand
Corporation? The meal of dinner and the reverse vampires have invented fluid karma. Now, fluid karma makes energy happen out in the water, but it also lets you inject it into maybe dead soldiers to bring them back, ? But it also is slowly slowing down the planet, which is part of their screenplay. Go ahead.
gives you clairvoyance / makes you telepathically connected with people in some way or another.
Right, because somehow down here, Pilot Abilene, who's been all jacked up with that, knows stuff, and Roland Taverner, or Ronald, whoever, may or may not have shot Pilot Abilene to death or just in the face.
I had to look this up, Gogs. I don't know if it's in the graphic novels. There was an accident with a grenade and blew part of his face off. That is canonically what happened.
And Ronald or Roland is dealing with that guilt. Now, meantime, he has a brother he needs to find. Now, a brother, you say? Yes, a brother. He's being held by the ultra-Marxists.
Neo-Marxists.
Meanwhile, he shows up, and Dream and Avon Barksdale get got, but they don't get fake got with squibs, which is a funny scene because the squibs go out after they really get shot by John.
That's pretty funny.
By John Lovitz, because John Lovitz is working with the ultra-Marxist,
neo-Marxist,
de facto, Splinter Cell, which is Sherry O'Terry, and not the Punisher.
And Gail the Snail's mom.
Right. It's Highlander. It's who's the Highlander?
Lambert. Get out of my ice cream truck, you Cro-Magnum bitch.
Yeah, can we pause real quick, Gogs? And the neo-Marxists are broadly anarcho-primitivists. Possibly they I don't know if Richard Kelly, because this is his big, I'm skewering both sides movie, I think.
Yeah.
But
it is.
I don't know if it's that he genuinely doesn't know anything about Marxism or, he's making a joke about people who don't know anything about Marxism. But he's very, kind of on brand with, moderate Republicans of that era. So I'm not really sure what the point he's trying to make is with this. But they're all dreadlock, crunchy, bong smokers.
Yeah, so all just
it's like Richard Kelly went to college till his sophomore year, and then they froze him in carbonite and then thawed him out, and he wrote 3 movies.
Yeah, that's some sort of weird boomer take. But anywho, moving on. So let's move down to the Pilot Abilene wing. Pilot Abilene, he's part of a group of snipers that are just positioned all around Night City or wherever the hell we are. And the snipers also work for Silent Bob and Janine Garofalo. And they are all part and maybe work for or under the Super NSA. Now, the Super NSA is led by a senator. Oh, actually, it's led by a senator's wife. Now, that senator also happens to be the dad of Mandy Moore. Now, Mandy Moore is the true wife of Boxer Santoros. Now, where's he been the whole time? He's been banging Krista now and writing screenplays. So Dream and Avon die. Now, that causes Boxer Santoros to have a mental split. He goes into a fugue state, and he becomes his character from the screenplay, Dr. Jericho Kane. Now, the Super NSA, right, has been watching this the whole time.
The Super NSA, who also owns all of television.
That's correct. So one of the Super NSA analysts in her Patrick Bateman raincoat is just juicy for Jericho Kane. So she says, hey, I'm Dr. Hot Pants. You got to help me stop the world slowing down.
She's also constantly around eating snacks in a way no one has ever eaten before.
Speaking of things no one's ever done before, fucking The Rock's walking around drinking a 6-pack in the ring, in the 6 rings. Who's ever done that other than maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin? So now she goes to find him because he's just wandering around like a dipshit. And then the Super NSA snipers zap her. And now he doesn't know what to do. Now he's full-blown Jericho Kane.
Did you mention why the neo-Marxists want to set up this race?
Well, I don't even know if you mentioned there was a racist. The neo-Marxists want to set up The Rock, Boxer Santoros, to be at the murder of Dream and Avon Barksdale because they are famous ultra-Marxists, and they want to say, hey, listen here, son-in-law of a senator who's managed by John Larroquette, you're not going to vote for the anti-gay agenda or whatever bill they're trying to get him to not vote for. The one
I don't want to be this guy, but the one thing Marxists are generally not interested in is electoral politics. Also, the idea that an election in California is too close to call is insane. Pick literally any other state.
Right. So anyway, Roland Taverner here is running around now. Things have gone south for him in the Land Tales. He's out here trying to find his brother. The Super NSA are trying to clean up all the neo-Marxists because the senator wife needs to make this all go back together because they tried to have intervention with Boxer Santoros, but and then he eventually gets kidnapped by Fortunio, right? And now we're revealing that the Trier Corporation is actually slowing the planet, and in doing so, they've created a time rift. And Fortunio helped make sure that Boxer Santoros entered that time rift with Roland Taverner. Now, Roland Taverner, once one enters said time rift, you make two of them. It's just the prestige all over again. So now we got the time rift. Now Boxer Santoros gets immolated, right? But the other Boxer Santoros is wandering around because you can't have two people that are the same because otherwise how are you going to overthrow God?
Yeah, we saw Duel, but like it doesn't make two of them. What it is there's one from the future and one from the past.
It's Primer
right? Like,
for idiots. So now
this movie is every movie for idiots.
Primer legit makes a clone. That was the whole point. Well, I don't know, maybe not.
No, that's not. Gogs is also the preeminent. He's the only person I know that understands that movie.
So now, Krista now is all whacked out because she doesn't know what's happening. She does find a tape at Sherry O'Terry's house.
Oh,
which
real
she
quick.
assumes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Monkeys, this is another thing that's lived rent-free in my head. Monkeys' souls cannot travel to the fourth dimension.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's stated as just bold fact that everyone
left out there.
Yeah.
So Krista now finds the tape at Sherry O'Terry's house, the John Lovitz tape, because John Lovitz is trying to bang Sherry O'Terry. And she's like, uh-oh, this is the tape that's going to bring down Boxer Santoros and then bring down also the government. So she's like, I'm going to drop it in a neo-Marxist dead drop in a turlet. But it turns out to be the video of Dream and Avon Barksdale dying, and then we're treated to the end of Strange Days because the streets just turn into chaos. So now, for some reason, Silent Bob has recruited some kid to join the super army, and he goes to see Pilot Abilene, and Pilot Abilene injects him with fluid karma and gives him a rocket launcher. Now that kid ends up finding Roland Taverner because Roland Taverner finally hooks up with his brother, who is really him, in an ice cream truck driven by the Highlander. And when they fuse with their powers combined, they start to float, and then Rocket Truck goes up. Now, meanwhile, the Trier Corporation, who's actually, you think they're ultra corpo, fucking just capitalism run amok. They're actually kind of like a bunch of ultra-Marxist wizards, I think.
They are literal wizards, I think, and also, like, in the very loosest understanding of that, like, no gods, no masters, like, we're gonna end capitalism and kill God! Like,
yeah.
Their first mistake was fighting a land war in Asia. The second one was that pimps don't commit suicide. So now... so now...
I love that guy, too. I mean, I'm glad he got a
Wallace
paycheck.
Shawn rules. So,
it's Wallace Shawn...
and Booger and Booger.
And Booger and
can I give you a pause? There's a moment in 2006 where Bai Ling was the hottest woman on earth, and it was right then.
She's making a case for it right now. So anyway, the Trier Corporation has invited everyone, literally everyone.
What do you mean everyone?
Everyone.
Onto a blimp ride. to show off, I guess, fluid karma, but it also has the half-charred corpse of Boxer Santoros.
This also feels loosely like the plot of Final Fantasy VII for like 10 minutes.
And then the kid with the rocket launcher fucking annihilates the blimp, and that's it.
Oh, well, no. Meanwhile, The Rock is like, he like does a Jesus pose, and the Rock is covered in religious tattoos, like of different religions.
There's a lot of iconography.
Yeah. And he has, that's the proper way to say it.
And Christianity wins is the point of this.
He looks like every wall in Diablo.
Also, this scene is confounding because there's like, I don't know if we were recording when we talked about it yet, but there's There's a lady that sings the national anthem, the American national anthem, and it's very eerily similar. It's just worse done to a scene that's in Mulholland Drive. It's the same singer, but also after that, there's some weird interpretive like dance off between The Rock, Krista Now, and Mandy Moore.
Well, that symbolizes their relationships.
Oh, okay. That's what I needed in this. Like, sure.
Also, and then John Larroquette like hits it off with the Marxist lady that tased his nads, but now they're gonna get nuked.
Yeah, but then I guess the world ends. I don't really know.
Maybe. Who's to say? All I know is that the two Roland Taverners become one, and maybe they're new god.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's I was jumping to Final Fantasy X, but they become sin to go back in the past to anybody. Just Final Fantasy X, everybody, great game.
So there you are. That is Southland.
Movie.
Let's talk about real quick.
Go ahead.
3 things before we get way off track that this movie is loosely based on referring to. Right. One of them is the poem "The Path Not Taken" by Robert Frost.
Shout out to Robert Frost. Big up
If
Frost.
you didn't get it, they literally say it. Not only is a guy named Robert Frost, but they literally reference part of the poem. So, Roland Taverner, "The Path Not Taken."
Old enough for you!
T.S. Eliot's The Hollow Men, we're all familiar with the idiom, the world ends with not with a bang, but with a whimper. But it's like inverted for whatever reason. And they keep saying it over and over again. The third thing that is loosely based on is the Book of Revelation, which, as the best Catholic in the room, I guess, by default, the Book of Revelation was
the coolest book in the Bible.
It is the coolest book of the Bible. However, the thing is, unlike the other books of the Bible, one, it was written way after the rest of the Gospels, like way, way after. And most people believe that it is all of these, the beast with 3 heads and all this shit are veiled references to politicians in North Africa and other places. So, like, if you were alive back then, you would understand that they're talking about Emperor so-and-so or whatever. So, like, that book is not at all meant to be taken literally. It is all symbolism about real people.
It's like almost a New Yorker cartoon.
Right. So if he understood anything about what he was writing about, like, none of it makes any sense. So, but go on.
Oh, that's it. That's the film. I mean, I shot my whole load.
I feel like the thing that I took away, we talked about how we have different takeaways watching it this time. The biggest thing that I took away from this is that he really does think this movie is like a comedy. Like, I think he thinks this is a biting satire comedy.
Like, he thinks this is super witty.
I really, like, I know it was, like, trying to be weird, but I guess I never picked up on how much it's trying to be, like, funny. And it's not funny. I mean,
TJ might appreciate this. Maybe somebody else will too. It's like somebody read 10 pages of a Philip Dick book and 10 pages of a Carlton Mellick book and went, I can do that. And then just shit, like the fucking baby that doesn't shit because, like, the gravity's changed. Like, there's all these, like, it's like every idea he had, he just put it on there and it gets dropped and, like, they don't come back to it and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, the Marxism thing, that everybody's double crossing and this guy's working for them, and then the fucking NSA owns TV, and it's just like, it's a fucking mess. Like,
it's a very clumsy, like, post 9/11 movie too, with the fucking, like, the super NSA and all that crap.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they even reference right there. This is all because of the Patriot Act, right? Like, they even say as much.
And even like some ideas that, like, aren't, like, the worst thing, it's like the fucking corporate sponsorship of, like, the war and stuff. It's like, that's something, but they don't really do anything with it. Like,
even the idea that they've invented something that's slowing down the Earth, if you just took that, it's like, let's take that and make a movie out of it, you got something. But all this other, it's just like, it's a 2.5 hour movie where 2 hours of it is filler. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Alec, what's your favorite part of this movie? Is it the religious allegory?
I
or in this case, I guess your least favorite part of the movie, unless this is we're a 3v1 on this episode, which I highly doubt.
My favorite part of the movie was seeing my favorite form of The Rock.
Does he look a lot smaller in this to you guys?
Yeah,
he has hair. He's not super jacked yet.
He's not in a jungle.
He's not wearing a brown shirt.
He wasn't begging people for money for Maui. He was. What did this come out? 2003?
6, I think.
Something like
6?
that.
So he was still kind of in the tail end of his WWE run.
Yeah.
But man.
Like, it's weird that this isn't that far past 9/11, but all the 9/11 shit feels so incredibly dated. Like, even at that time, you know what I mean? It felt like, it was like, okay, yeah, we got it. Like, what are you bringing that's new?
Yeah, but it's not even that concerned about it. Like, you know.
Yeah, like, I don't understand what the message is here. You know what I mean?
The message is pimps don't commit suicide.
I mean, but even that, like, if there's some kind of through line to it, because that line just appears, like, in whole cloth, and the third act gets repeated 4 times, and that's it. You know what I mean? There's no, like...
That's how you tell a story, Sean. I don't know what to tell you.
My B.
To Alex's point, I will say that, like, I know this is a terrible movie, but I kind of respect The Rock for how fucking, like, he's just, like, he's not being The Rock in this. Like, at one point, he's, like, twiddling his fingers, which he's
doing the Homer thing when he gets confused and, like, he starts tapping his fingers.
It is kind of nice to see him, like, play against type, even though, again, this movie is really bad. I don't think he's trying something. Like,
I think Sean William Scott's actually kind of good in this movie.
Sean William Scott is actually good in this movie. I would go so far as to say The Rock is actually good in the movie.
I think Sarah Michelle Gellar is good in this movie.
Yeah, but I didn't need the N-word scene.
What's that? Hold on. What'd you say, Alec? I didn't.
When this is what you're given to work with, like, you're only going to do, you can only do so much.
True. What did you say?
Go ahead, Alec.
I was going to say they all probably thought this was going to be some
art film.
Yeah, some big ensemble art film, but instead it came out like feeling like Cecil B. Demented.
They thought it was going to be Birdman, but it turned out to be Turdman. I could have done without the Sean William Scott using the N-word. Like, I know they're trying to set it up, but it comes across like incredibly clumsy and just there for shock value.
Yeah.
Isn't that exactly why it was supposed to be there?
When he said it, it reminded me just like of Troy Duffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
I thought
taking the power away from it.
Oh my God, this is art school Troy Duffy. If Troy Duffy went to NYU, there would have been this.
In a weird way, it kind of is, right?
Yeah.
Also,
I think
like,
they kind of weirdly nailed this guy's whole career. Like, Donnie Darko's like a bad movie, and I don't like it. But you're like, okay, this is a young man. Like, I don't understand why I have to read this pamphlet to understand this movie. But he's got some ideas. It's weird. He's trying something. Let's see where this goes, right?
Right.
And then this is where it went.
Yeah, and like also obviously I have a lot of thoughts on Richard Kelly, but like his one trick that he does in this movie constantly is people killing themselves. That's like all that like anyone ever does. Like immediately, like at the end of the movie, like The Rock has to do something, so he pulls a gun on himself. Like he talks about like he's like obsessed with suicide. But that's
I understand that because I'm always ready to just blow my brains out over the most trivial shit.
But also, that's not, like, that could be something, right? It's kind of like you said about the pimp line. Like, if that's, like, the world is killing itself, like, maybe there's something there. But again, like, he doesn't ever, it's like, I think, Sean, I think you said at the beginning, but, like, it's just every idea at once. He should have pared down some of this stuff, and maybe you could have done something with it. But he doesn't.
Did he edit this movie, too?
I don't know if the movie was edited.
Let me look. I don't know. I don't think so, Alec. Let me
while you're looking at, like, the idea to stunt cast SNL people is, like, interesting, I guess, but they're hamming it up so much.
Well, John Lovitz is literally like the Terminator. He's like, let's kill them. And it's like what is that?
Nora Dunn is really bad. Sherry O'Terry's really bad. Like, and then
is Nora Dunn Gail the Snail's mom? Is that Nora Dunn?
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And Kevin Smith's ad-libbing his own shit because he makes he quotes Yeats, the widening gyre of the poem. The falcon cannot hear the falconer, things fall apart, the center cannot hold, which he did because he then wrote that horrendous Batman comic called The Widening Gyre, which is also loosely a reference to that poem.
He did not edit this. Some guy, a guy named Sam Bauer, who, I mean, Kelly might as well edit it because this guy has only worked on Richard Kelly movies. Yeah. He edited Donnie Darko.
He's the only one that knows how to work the software.
Yeah, he edited all three of his movies: Donnie Darko, Southland Tales, and The Box. Not the popular '90s music channel where you could pay to watch music videos
or the slang for the vagina. The Box is also his best movie. Yeah, pass. What is even it up to? Like, it's so slimy. But
what's the deal with that thing? Give me a nice sturdy penis.
Yeah, it's all
straight
smooth.
Line.
Yeah. Stuff only comes out of one hole, and I know when it's coming. It's not just making it hard to sleep.
I can wrap my head around a nice penis.
Yeah, fucking, I can wrap a lot of things around it. But The Box is like his best movie just because it is like totally not his writing. It's just was it Richard Matheson? Yeah. This movie is fucking trash. And like, it's funny, this is one of those movies when you look it up, it's all these insane defenses of how brilliant this movie actually is.
This is a movie. This is what an idiot thinks a smart movie is.
So I want to give you one reason why this movie is really bad, and I know it's bad. Usually with even like cult movies, like movies that I might not care for but have like somewhat of a cult following, and I thought this did. I honestly did. I thought this movie was one of those movies that people went back to and they're like, actually, this is really good. There is like zero discussion on like YouTube about this movie. Like I was like, because I was trying to find like, I wanted to see what other people had to say about this movie.
You wanted a counterpoint.
Or I wanted somebody to be like, I
don't know, TJ. I think this movie hasn't hit the YouTube reviewer zeitgeist yet because if you just just put in like Southland Tales or Southland Tales, opinions or whatever, you'll see a shitload of these like pseudo scholarly articles about it. So I bet you it will pop up somewhere in all of those.
I bet when IMDb still had common, message boards on every movie, I bet this was like super active. But I think that but I think it's kind of passed by.
Right. Yeah.
Like I don't think people care about this.
It's not old enough to like get re-examined like that, and it wasn't like a big enough it wasn't a spectacular failure in the way that like a Cloud Atlas or something is. You know what I mean? It wasn't this huge fucking movie.
And it's funny because the one that what's that guy that we like, Renegade Cut, who does he does like movies, but he also does like political commentary.
Yeah.
His video on Southland Tales didn't even talk about the movie. He was just talking about themes in the movie. It was kind of annoying. Like, I was like, why am I even like, he didn't even, like, he never made any critique on the movie. He was just talking about bigger ideas in the movie. And it was like, I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, this is just, it's so painful to watch. I mean, illustrated by Goggs's brilliant chart, it is just so convoluted. Like, I mean, it's like, and there's nothing to sink your teeth into, right? Like, there's nothing, like, all these, everything Goggs has a mutant ability of making the most tiresome thing seem entertaining, because it is.
See Hellraiser deader.
Right. But, like, following this movie as you're watching it, you're like, what? Like, and there's no.
I would bet you my, like, entire salary for the rest of my life if you asked Richard Kelly to right now, cold, beat by beat, explain to you the plot of that movie, he couldn't do it.
Oh, no. And again, like, the other thing is that, and it's not to sound like my dad, but it's literally just people talking.
Not funny as shit or scary as shit.
Well, no, it's just a movie with people talking, and the talking is very boring, and it's nonsense.
But it's also very stilted and weird, but, like, not in a purposeful way.
And it tonally shifts so hard where it's like, it's super goofy talking about how monkeys can't traverse the fourth dimension. But then it's like trying to be serious at the same time, I think, and it's like...
Oh, well, it ends with the second coming of Christ. by way of Repo Man. Like, that's the ending of the movie, but it's also 5 minutes
that car
before
floated
that.
too.
Yeah, 5 minutes before that, it is the aforementioned fat Kevin Smith in a wheelchair smoking a dick talking about how monkeys can't time travel. You know what I'm saying? It's so jarring, but also boring. Like, it's weird to be, like, startled and bored at the same time. I don't know how that happens, but good on you, Richard Kelly.
And, like, ultimately, like, what's his name? Will Sasso, the porn, like, producer, is the guy that, like, overthrows the NSA, and it's like, okay.
He's like some sort of weird, like, his connections to everything is strange.
Guys, I know I asked you this years ago when we watched this before, but, like, what do the comics illuminate?
We spent a lot of time with Fortunio.
That was the Will Sasso character?
Will Sasso's character, yeah. There's a lot of time with that and the setup of how we're going to get Boxer.
About the script that they write?
It's about that, and it's about getting Boxer out to the time rift because the planet's slowing down.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, because you mentioned that the corporation put The Rock there, but I never picked up on that in the movie. Did they ever?
Yeah, they had Roland Taverner was driving him in the car into the time rift.
Right. I just forgot everybody's alignment. You're right.
It's not going anywhere. It's up here forever.
Anything else, guys?
I don't remember Janine Garofalo at all the first time we watched this movie, so I don't know if that's, like, part of this cut or not, but, like, I don't remember in the original, or whatever version we watched the last time, Kevin Smith being in it until the very end, and he pops up a bit earlier.
Yeah, I think
what should call him? The Game Master? The Dungeon Master?
The Dungeon Master.
Janine Garofalo that barely does anything, so it's like.
Also, they're gonna change the course of the California election with 11 thumbs. Like, it's that close?
I thought the same thing. I was like, what the hell? Anyway, anything else, guys? Alec, how do you feel about the science in this movie? There is a lot of science in this movie.
The science is ludicrous.
Oh, Jesus.
You got somebody does this stuff for me to laugh.
This movie is absurd.
It's, in the worst way possible.
2 hours and, like, 40 minutes long. That is long. Like, criminal.
I watched the first half of this movie while I was getting my oil changed because I was able to download it on YouTube and watch it at 2 times speed.
That's the best way to watch it.
Too much.
The way it was meant to be seen. A 2 times speed on a phone while you're doing something else.
You know what though? Like, at least watching it at 2 times speed, like, it speeds up this awful dialogue, so, like, you don't have to, like, really, it doesn't have to soak in.
It felt like I was watching a talkie.
Right. What do you mean?
Everything's gonna go fast.
Well, that's what the dialogue's like. How are the Rocky Mountain oysters doing? I heard you got them well done. Like, oh god, I just wish I was dead. Pimps don't commit suicide, but I might.
Please don't.
Yeah. Yeah, don't.
Don't give Richard Kelly the satisfaction.
Right, Richard Kelly will be right.
I finally shoot myself, you guys come to the funeral, Richard Kelly just shows up in a trench coat and goes, you long got him.
Got him.
Yeah, there's few things in this world that is more, like, I feel so justified in my opinion that Richard Kelly just doesn't have a career anymore. Like, it's
I'm just glad that Hollywood finally did something right. Somebody saw this and was like, we're not giving that guy any money for anything.
Right, exactly. Like, he's done. He hasn't done anything. Like, it's over. Like, thank you. That's good.
Yeah.
Like, go for M. Night. Where's that, like, meme with the Grim Reaper knocking on the door?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Richard Kelly's down. Like, where's M. Night Shyamalan? All right. Let's get into fucking Five Knuckle Shuffles. I mean, I don't know. Alex.
0.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah. Generous.
Even if I did like this movie, I'd be too embarrassed to say it. This movie,
that on the poster.
That on the box.
But this movie is garbage. For a lot of people in it that, like, when this came out, I was gigantic fans of, namely The Rock and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Right.
Like, and I guess Stifler to a point. Like, I don't know that anybody in the world's a huge Sean William Scott fan, but as much as one can be, like, I found him entertaining in more things than I haven't, I would say. But man, This is just the worst. And like I've seen Donnie Darko. Like Richard Kelly is just the worst. And he's so far up his own ass with his like ideas and everything that he thinks is super like deep and dark. Like, we get it, man. A plane crashed.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Cock chugging.
But this is bleh. So yeah, it's a 0. So like Stiff-Timber ended with an absolute stud.
Yeah.
Gogs.
It's 0.
Hell yeah.
It's bad. It's just fucking. It's still bad. It was bad. Still bad. Remains bad. Will always be bad. I'm trying to convince myself not to reread the comics because the thought came to my head, but it's not. I'm not going to do it. This movie's. It almost gets a point because it's fun to talk about. Like, it's just so much fun just to drag collectively. Like, it's enjoyable in that regard. And it's a spectacle that we all got to have a shared experience. Like, we all went through Vietnam. Like, we all get to say that we were part of this.
Went back for some reason and took Alec.
Right, yeah, it became,
we had so much fun in Vietnam, we went back.
Or the brotherhood that needs to find, Black Panther's gold. You know, like that movie. The Five Bloods. We Five Blooded.
Oh, yeah.
And so, no, it's so up its ass, it's back out and then around again. It's like a double. It's gone.
It goes back in its ass again.
It's like a Mobius strip of up its own ass. Like it's infinite and none.
Ouroboros butt plug. It's just
it's just the worst. Sean.
It's also a 0. This is, I was thinking about how the best way to describe this. This is a movie that a girl goes to a guy's apartment and is forced to watch on a date. And then afterwards, not only does he try to explain the whole movie to her, but then spends like 2 hours like begging for a hand job and doesn't get it. Like, it's just like the fucking, like, it reminds me a lot
like
in a weird
Saturday night.
Yes, like your prom dress. No, I fuck, sir. Like, first of all, I would never show a woman Southland tales. Poor Hemplo. No, like, it's like the worst movie anybody's ever made.
Yeah, you're right.
Shit, what was I going to say?
What's the budget for that? I didn't even look. What's the budget for that?
It's got to be tremendously high.
I don't think it's that high.
I don't know, but it reminds me
above the line, it had to be nuts.
It reminds me in a weird way of Art School Confidential, even though that's a better movie. At least like the source. Go ahead.
According to this, it's $17 million.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was 2005.
Yeah.
But still, that's
The
low.
Rock wasn't making that money yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's so pretentious that, like, it almost feels like it's like a Russian doll or something where it's mocking, like, art, or like the comic book Art School Confidential where it's mocking, like, art shit.
Yeah.
But this isn't, like, I don't know, like, I've never seen a movie that, like, explains so many political opinions, doesn't understand any of them, and also has no point.
Yeah,
so,
it also has no opinion of its own. Like, it doesn't have it's not, yeah.
This is literally the worst movie on earth. Like, confirmed.
Yeah. So it was a $17 million budget, and the box office was only $374,000.
$2.5 billion. It's the highest grossing movie ever made. Surprise.
So it didn't even make $1 million in the box office, which in 2006 is like almost impossible. That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I'm glad we revisited this because it confirmed how bad it was. I was like, there's no way it's that bad. And I'm watching it. I'm like, maybe this cut's different, like it's got something going on, like, and it's just like, it's just fucking, it's so, if this movie was an hour and 40 minutes, like, maybe it's like a 3 or something, like, oh yeah, they have some ideas, whatever, it's goofy, it doesn't really work, but, it's not, but, like, unless it's Blade Runner 2049, like, you're not gonna make a 3-hour movie, or Dune, or I guess, unless you're done going away with a lake.
That's a great point, though, right? Like Blade Runner specifically, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a movie that is an interesting story, but it does examine themes that are more than what the story is. But it's fun to watch.
Simple, and it's consistent.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, I know exactly what everybody's motivations are, and it's not because it's, Ryan Gosling's doing a voiceover. It's because, like, the story is clear and the dialogue doesn't go on forever, and, like, these, like, double and triple crosses, and 65 people have plans going on at the same time, and there's experiments, and the Army's doing experiments, and the Army's working for NSA, and then NSA is controlled by, and it's just like...
Can you imagine if Richard Kelly wrote...
Richard Kelly's Blade Runner 2049?
If he wrote the introductory scene with him and Batista, where it's like they barely have any dialogue, but he'd be like, wow, you used to be a doctor on a rig. That's weird. That's almost like you're a slave and you're a robot. That's kind of crazy, huh? And like,
and then we have somebody goes,
the
Book of Revelation says that slave robots are bad.
He also would have probably given Batista big glasses, which would have been a huge mistake.
Oh, he had tiny glasses,
like big Elton John glasses.
Big Elton John.
I mean, that would probably that idea is better. I like that.
Richard Kelly. As of 2021, when I was looking at the box office, he had an article in Forbes, must have, I read it in Forbes, that he wants to revisit this and recut it a la Zack Snyder Justice League. He thinks now, or in 2021, the world's now ready for it.
It was just so far ahead of its time. Yeah, I'll conclude with one of my favorite AVGN lines. Like, it's hard to describe how ass this movie is, but it is very ass. Like, I just can't. TJ.
I just want to point out, how much I hate Richard Kelly, but he describes this movie as, and I quote, a great black comedy. So this is something that we haven't said on the show in a long time. But
retroactive dark comedy.
Exactly. Yeah. When a failed artistic project does not work and doesn't meet the expectations of the director, actually this was intentionally bad and you guys are stupid. Yeah. I don't know why I sounded like Bill Maher there, but that also kind of works.
It just made me think if I got a Russian lady that works for me and like she was trying to say dark humor, she's like, it's not, you shouldn't tell so many black jokes. I was like, excuse me.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah, but that's my private life. Yeah.
Hey,
how'd you know that?
What kind of bird is this? Sorry, TJ.
White people drive like these.
It's a fucking. Can I give it lower than a 0? Is there like a?
No, you know the rules.
You know
zero.
You know the law.
0. It's fucking horrendous. It is such a fucking mess. It's not fun or funny. It's too long. It is so confused with its metaphors and with its plot and Sean, I think you really hit the nail on the head where
it's real lightning in a pan.
It totally is. Well, that metaphor works because it's funny. It's very funny. If he had lightning in a pan, maybe I should have punched up this script a little bit, huh?
Could you imagine getting this and reading it and they'd be like, just fix it.
It would be literally like getting the fucking King in Yellow. I would go insane and die. Are you getting like?
And then the last line is, after making the perfect movie, there was no more reason to make another.
It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
Anyway, what did I say?
No, it's just that he doesn't understand any of these ideas that he's putting in this movie. He doesn't understand the ultra security state. He doesn't understand the religious allegories he's putting in. He doesn't understand the political aspects that he's putting in the movie.
Yeah, but Beiling had a snake on her.
Yeah, because she's the fucking Leviathan. Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
He doesn't understand comedy, which is kind of
what's a worse religious allegory movie, this or Mother? There's a question just for you.
Ooh. You know what? You're all going to be really shocked to hear this. Mother is not as bad as this movie. Like, it's clumsy. It's clumsy in a lot of the same ways. But I'll give Darren Aronofsky credit. At least at points, it's like visually interesting. It's also much shorter, if I remember correctly. But it's also really bad, and it's also like baby's first religious allegory. Oh God, if somebody had like the fucking Lauren Boebert camera on me watching that, I was literally squirming watching Mother. Like, I was literally like hand in my face going, oh God, are you serious? Like, anyway.
Cringe.
I was also jerking off the guy next to me, much like
Nice.
Lauren Boebert. But,
what a queen.
There was nobody next to me. Nobody was in the theater watching that shitty movie. But anyway, this movie is fucking horrible. And like, sometimes Sean, I think you're a little more lax on the big swing movies, right? You've gone down where you're like, well, it's bad, but they tried a lot. And like, this is one of those cases where it's like you swung, but the bat flew out of your hand and it killed a child. In the front row. Like, just don't do it. Like,
this is Josh Hamilton throwing the ball into the stands.
And I'm going to make another comparison to another movie that you guys may agree or may not agree. This has like Kurt Wimmer vibes. Like, this feels like Ultraviolet. This feels like Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet was fun though. I think we all gave that like a 7.
I mean, in the writing, like in how he does it, like, or in fucking the other one, the fucking
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. How he does not understand like fascism at all. It's the same idea. Like
or emotions.
Right.
Well, Kurt Wimmer also made the Bad Point Break, so
there you go. I don't know, man. This movie is fucking terrible. And I also just everything you read from Richard Kelly makes you hate him even more. Like, I implore anyone to read interviews with him about this movie because he thinks this is a fucking masterpiece. And also his idea of like putting comics out that like not ancillary comics, right? Like a lot of movies do that. Like there's actually some good, like I've championed them for years. The 28 weeks later comic books. Yeah. Are really, or 28 days later comic books are really good. But like, you didn't have to go read those comics and then see the movie. That is such a ridiculous idea that he expected to work. Like, who's gonna do that? You know what I mean? Gods. And also the comics are bad. Well, but Gods didn't even do that. Gods did it after the fact. Yeah, he legitimately intended for people to read them and then go to the theater.
Now, if it was Richard Kelly's, with Robert Liefeld doing the comics, I would buy all of them just because that would be something.
That's a little different. But yeah, this movie is just like, it's monumentally bad.
Like, I feel like he almost got movies canceled. Like, if enough people had seen this, be like, you know what, we're good.
Yeah. And I mean, and again, like, it's just like every creative
the concept of movies.
Every creative choice, well, it would literally be the end of movies. Like, it's the end of the world. Yeah. Right? Like, every single creative choice he made in this movie is the wrong one. And it's kind of impressive in a weird way. Like, there's too much narration. There's too much plot. Like, why is Pilot Abilene so important? Is Pilot Abilene dead? I don't know. Is he back to, like, did he get injured? I don't know. Like, there's so much shit in this fucking movie. Like,
there's one interesting concept in this whole thing where, Sean William Scott's like, hey, my mirror's on delay. Like, you could almost spin that into the entire movie, just the two of them.
But again, to go back to
35 other movies there.
Well, also to go back to your way, way, way original thing, that mirror image being out of sync, that's an idea from Philip K. Dick. That's like wholesale ripped off from Philip K. Dick. It's a great idea. It's a cool concept of like your reflection not matching your body, but he didn't come up with that.
I mean, Doink did it better.
Hell yeah. And also like, also, remember that WCW and Ultimate Warrior like showed up in the mirror for
yeah, but that really happened.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, the thing is like a lot of the defenders of this movie are like, well, it's like meant to be like an art house thing, but like that doesn't even work. Like, cause it's not artsy enough to be an art house thing. Like it goes out of its way to try to over explain its bullshit. Like I don't know.
It's too much of a boy for Crazy Town. Not crazy.
Too crazy for Boys Town.
I hate this movie a lot, and I never want to watch it again. I've watched it probably 6 times in my life now, and I don't want to watch it anymore.
I won't do it.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty fucking bad. I will say that the second time I watched it in this go around, I was doing other things, so I had it on and I wasn't paying much attention to it. Which I recommend to anybody that even is curious about this fucking movie.
Just don't. Like, there's nothing to glean from it, really.
Yeah, Brett.
We're all worse off.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
you probably already did.
Just do just watch the 20 seconds of Wood Harris going, "Oh, you bitch."
That is the funniest part of the movie. That part and the part after they really get shot and then the squids go off. That's
that made me laugh.
Funny. That's pretty funny. That's a funny scene.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what is next? What month are we in, Alec? What is
you mean the 1 week we have left?
1 week we have left. Yes.
It's Hello Queens.
What is that?
I don't know. I just gave up.
Oh.
I was trying to find something that rhymed with
Is there just something hanging out there that we can just knock out?
Are there any terrible horror movies you guys want to watch?
How many we got? We have 2 weeks of this together.
Yeah, we have 2 weeks, not 1 week.
Or just movies in general to clear off the docket.
Let's watch some horror movies. It's October, spooky season, as it were. Anybody have a horror movie pick?
You know what movie I've been dying to watch that I've had forever?
Dying to watch.
Is besides Ken Burns' The Devils, is what is it? The Legend Behind the Mask or whatever, that Baltimore horror movie. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Legend of Leslie, whatever the fuck.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Behind the Mask, is it called?
I think it is called Behind the Mask.
Hang on. Let me just. Oh, you know what we should watch? Audition.
Okay. I watched it on the other show.
Oh.
I was like, wait, didn't I already review that?
Oh, well,
I reviewed it. I reviewed it on the Chris show.
Should we watch X because it's bad? Should we watch that Winnie the Pooh murder movie?
No. We're not. I already watched that on Chris show too. But we can watch X. That might be interesting because some of y'all might like it. And
is that the Ty West movie?
Yeah, you can all 3v1 me or whatever. That'd be fine.
Okay.
Dreams.
Oh my God.
Like that.
Or we can watch Pearl. I don't care for that one either. But
we can watch them both. We got 2 weeks.
I really don't want to watch this Ant-Man movie, and I don't think I'm gonna.
So we're gonna watch X next week.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever.
What do you recommend? X or Pearl?
Which one's the first one? I want to watch the second one.
X is the first one.
So Pearl's the origin story?
Correct.
I don't know, man. How about Blue Beetle?
Oh, you know what? It is a superhero movie.
Okay.
Yeah, we can watch that. I'm cool with that.
I know it's on the Plex because I was going to watch it the other day. And
it's on there.
We were finally a Latinx movie for me and sort of dogs.
It's for Sean. Sean can give his review in Spanish.
Got the kid from Cobra Kai's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Mucho gusto.
That's the only reason
Dos
I really
palabras. Sandwich de mierda.
I learned today that the Spanish word for backhoe, which no one uses because no one ever brings it up, but it is retro excavator, which is awesome.
Yeah,
that's a good
band name.
Yeah, retro excavator. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll do my Spanish review. That'll be fun. Dos palabras. Sandwich de mierda.
Oh yeah! All right, Blue Beetle next week because we can't get away from the DCEU, and
maybe if it's part of it. Who knows?
Who knows?
For the following week, don't even know.
For the following week, which will be Halloween, we should come up with a horror movie. So
I still vote X because I still want to see it. I'll watch it on my own.
Just watch it on your own.
All right then.
Get out of my fucking face.
Why don't we just do a month where we do all the Evangelion rebuild movies? There's 4 of them, right?
Oh God, I know, dude. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. Like, TJ likes this shit. No, I'm good.
What's the Halloween? Wait, what's the Paul Rudd Halloween movie? We should watch that.
Oh, you know what we should watch? Because I'm gonna hate myself, but it will be the most fun to talk about. We should watch either Halloween Ends or Halloween Kills.
We already did that.
We did Halloween Kill. We watched one of them.
Which one's Evil Dies Tonight?
That's Halloween Kills. We watched that? I didn't even fucking know.
We didn't watch Halloween Ends.
I think the 3 of us have seen it already, right? Or at least me and you saw it. Oh, okay.
We should probably watch Ends then.
Ends the one where he's got the protege and they're doing the mentor-mentee.
Yep, that's the one.
We'll
think about it. We got time. Whatever. We'll think about it.
A Blue Beetle.
All right, everybody. Next week, Azul Beetle. However you say beetle in Spanish.
Yeah. Hard
butt.
Right.
Hard butt. Azul.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, babies.
Bye.